Hey everybody, Dairilla here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Reign de Fleur along Orpheus's path. And sadly, in the last episode, we lost a few people due to Orpheus's, well, he was trying to do something good, but unfortunately it backfired and we lost Madame NJ and Mr. Bonhue and lots of Hanabito living around here. So let's see what happens from this point. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. I'm sorry, I still got a terrible cold, so please forgive me. I'm doing my best here. I gently hold him in my arms as I look down, holding back tears. I know it was unexpected for you two. There was a massive amount of grace removed from Partidam because of that ceremony. The disappearance of old and strong Hanabito, NJ and Mr. Bonhue proves it. The children were safe this time, but I wonder how many of them have wilted. I'm afraid to see the reality, but I must face it. I bite my lips in thought. Then, as I hear the sound of footsteps, a familiar face shows up. Excuse me, you seem to be awake now, Princess. Asagi. This seems to be a good time. I have something I need to tell you, Princess. Actually, Orpheus is... Huh? Orpheus is what? Orpheus is gathering everyone. For what? I step into the greenhouse as Asagi instructed. Everybody's here. The knights and butterflies are already there, except for Sumabeni. And why isn't he here? But everyone appears worried, probably because of the sudden gathering. Sumabeni is watching Hubert, so everyone else seems to be here. I wonder what Orpheus is trying to do. Okay, now everyone's here. I'm glad Violet's come back to her senses. He begins to speak. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming, and I'm sorry. Orpheus looks around at each of us, then deeply lowers his head. That day, I did something that I shouldn't have. I trusted too much in my power and didn't seek anyone's advice. Then I made the decision to do it on my own and made everyone worried. As a result, Orpheus. What I did can't be forgiven. I betrayed everyone's trust. But still, if I'm allowed to have a chance to make up for what I did, I want to do my best as a knight with everyone again. Please. It takes courage for one to admit his own fault and apologize in front of everyone. The fear of being blamed and the realization of what you've done. But Orpheus chose to do this, to confront it. I know I take too much for granted. Orpheus raises his face with a bitter expression while everyone else remains silent. Then... Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Whether to be forgiven or not? Huh? You were the only one who had an option, while nobody else could find a way out. Though it was not appropriate to act on your own without telling anybody. Yet, if one discovers that they have the power of a god, well, I can't deny that the rest of us would probably do the same thing. I mean, we don't have the right to blame you. You guys. Yes, I agree with everyone. Orpheus, you are still a knight even if you make a mistake. You want to be a knight again. Do not say such things. You were and still are my precious knight. That's right, making a mistake doesn't take away your knighthood. Although I think they're being just a little too easy on him. Violet. Everyone, thank you. It's okay. What do we do next? Isn't that more important to focus on now? Yeah, just forgiven just that easily. That's right, but the situation still seems to be at a dead end. Yes, about that. Actually, when Violet was asleep and I was by her side, Milene appeared to me again in a vision. I was surprised, but Orpheus just nods and continues. Then she told me about the source of my powers and the details about it. She even told me what god I am, too. Which means there are gods of love, demolition, art, many of them, but the source of yours would be hope. I am hope? Yes, it is uncertain, but the power which leads people to the future. New god of hope, Orpheus, what do you want to do about this world? If I make a wish, will it come true? That's up to you, and up to me as well. Then, I want to do away with the system of the world depending on grace from Partidom. I want to have a world that's not ruled by gods. I couldn't stop thinking as we performed the ceremonies after officially becoming knights. Tanabito, Hanabito, the rain, knights, and everyone who's living in this world. It's not fair for us to be controlled by the uncertainty called the blessings of God. Generally, life isn't fair. If so, then it would have been better not to have had it from the beginning. But it is a fact that the world wouldn't have developed this much without that power. Even so, the world won't function without sacrificing somebody else. It'll be better for such a world to be destroyed. And that goes for Violet, too. I don't deny it, but that's not the only reason. I've lived alone all my life, but then I realized man is not so weak. Mankind has some power on its own, other than the power of the gods. Yeah, Chrysanthemum has shown that. Grace certainly makes life easier, but without it, we can surely still find a way to live our lives. And that's what we call humanity, I think. Huh. I see. If you, new god, hope to resist the old gods, then that may be the will of this world now. Men have no needs of the gods anymore. That is how it is. So, can I take it you agreed with what I hoped for? That smile. My brother god Orpheus, the source of your power is the place where you were born. The tree is waiting for you, even now. Did Melane say all that? Yes, what I did was definitely a sin, but ironically, the land will be stable for a while since so much grace was applied through that ceremony. But that abundance of grace was taken from what little we had. The remaining grace here can only support Partidom, and that's all. Yes, grace can no longer be supplied anymore, no matter what happens to the land, so we can just abolish that tradition now. No more grace for anybody! Huh? Abolish? That's quite a bold thing to say. Orpheus, you mean... don't get me wrong. I don't mean to destroy Partidom. I mean to just completely separate heaven and earth, to get away from the control of the gods. What can I say? To separate the world, you've really come up with an outrageous idea. But I agree, help from the gods is no longer needed. I don't know about the other spineless countries, but at least my country doesn't need that for sure. Hey, don't think that your country is the only strong nation. That's completely wrong. This is a very interesting game, but Orpheus, have you thought about how you're going to do this? Indeed he has. Yes, to do this, I must go to the land. Why? I remembered it, just like the goddess has her power in that cherry blossom tree. The source of my power should be in the olive tree in the woods where I came from. I see. You mean that's your tree of life? That's why I must go back to the land. I can't use my power fully if I'm away from it. Then I'll use my power to separate Partidom from the land. And I'm thinking about using the remaining power to just bolster the world a little. The plan isn't a bad one, but how will you get to the land? I thought about it already. Rain, you can open up the way to the land, can't you? Yes, I can do it the same way I sent the butterflies before. I thought it was a crazy idea at first, but it gradually turns into a feasible plan. But Louis struck towards pour cold water on the plan. But the plan seems to have a critical problem, doesn't it? What do you mean by critical problem? Just think about it. To separate the world after descending to the land means it'll sever the way back for Orpheus to Partidum as well. You were trying to do this on your own from the beginning, weren't you? You're still thinking such things? Because I've committed a sin deserving of this punishment. So many Hanabito have wilted because of me. And what I'm trying to do now is to destroy the balance of this world. I may even hurt more Hanabito in the process. Even so, this is my atonement. It can never be allowed if I don't lose anything. Everyone stays silent at Orpheus's words. This makes it clear. He didn't call us here to be forgiven, but he was here to pass judgment on himself from the beginning. Realistically speaking, it's the only way for me to go there alone. No, it's not. I can go with you. Why can't we all just go, really? Seems like we should all just be able to go to land together, as far as I'm concerned. Well, anyway, that's the end of the translation for the day, so we'll pick this up in the next episode. Hope to see you there or in some of my other videos, and I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Derilly signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.